Okay, hello and welcome to the Friday, August 21st Village Council for Yellow Springs special meeting. Judy, if you could call the order, call the roll.
DeVore Leonard.
Here.
Shu. Here. Brown.
Here.
Samari.
Here.
Pierce. Here. Also present is Village Manager Johnny Burns and Solicitor Amy Blankenship.
Okay. So can we just talk through for a second what the agenda is, how things will flow? I'm quite sure that we need to figure out what we're doing here. So what's listed on the agenda right now is executive session for the purpose of consideration of employment of a public employee in accordance with Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1. Then resume, motion to resume, come back to council, discuss a village manager's contract with potential action to follow, and then adjournment. So those are the pieces that are on here now. I am assuming that a lot of people here are planning or wanted to talk or have things that they want to say. I think what we're trying to figure out how to navigate here is, and then maybe I'm assuming that are different understandings about the way the process works. So I guess, can we just talk through how does this go? So my understanding was that this is a meeting where we were having executive session, then if we get to a point where there's termination of a contract that is to be discussed, the way that the process works is that there is a motion. It is either seconded or not. If it is seconded, then it is immediately tabled. There's no discussion that is allowed. This is per the contract. And then there is another hearing that is scheduled, at which point, at that hearing, there is a choice. Actually, Johnny, you have a choice of whether you would want to have a executive session or a public hearing. My understanding from the conversations that you'd like to have a public hearing. At that public hearing, there would be that would be a chance for people to speak, at which point there would be deliberation from council. So I guess let me just make sure, Amy, Judy, anyone else, do I misunderstand the way the process is supposed to work, or the way it has to work?
Per contract, it's a hearing. It's not a public hearing.
Okay, right.
But we're
The
assuming
choice whether it's public or private.
Well, it's a hearing which is held in a public meeting. It's not a public hearing because that's a particular legal term, but you would certainly it would be council's decision as to whether people would be allowed to speak at that hearing.
Okay.
And it would be the village manager's determination as to whether or not that hearing was to happen in a public session or in an executive session.
Right.
And then it would be the village manager's determination of who speaks at that hearing.
Okay. So I think we have just, I guess, a couple sort of process questions here of how to approach things. So right now, if we just did what the agenda says, we'd make a motion to go in executive session, and then we would talk in executive session about how we're approaching things. If we did that, then everybody who's here would basically be waiting while we're in executive session, which is, I assume that you all saw there was an executive session, had some assumption of that, and also no one wants to wait around forever. And then come out of that executive session, and the maximum thing that would happen would be the motion and seconding and tabling process, that there would not be public comment at that point related to any process. So the only other option, I think, is to change the agenda and to have is there some process by which that we wanted to try to figure out how to have people speak, or do we want to change the order in some way? And so I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate the process.
So I'd like to move that we go into executive session.
Okay.
And then that's the motion on the table for me, that we move immediately into executive.
I'll second.
Then Carmen, could I ask you to do the full motion, or I can read it off for you?
Will you read it off for me, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
Absolutely. A motion to go into executive session under Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G1 to discuss the employment of a public employee.
All right. DeVore Leonard.
Well, let's go through the rigmarole and have a so moved in a second. And then
Oh,
do it again? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
And second.
So there's a so moved in a second, and then so can there be discussion for one? Is Is there no, so all I'm saying, I'm just trying to communicate to people what to expect, that's all. Just that if we're going straight into executive session, at that point, we would be talking in a room by ourselves, and everyone here would be staying here if they want to wait until we're done. So I'm just, is that, I don't know how to make it less clunky.
I think that everybody has that expectation, that
Okay.
we're going to
Just making
deliberate
sure.
first. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
DeVore Leonard.
Yes.
Shu.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Samari.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so can we go down to the
Conference room.
Can I get a motion to resume the special council meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and then do we vote on that?
Voice vote's fine?
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. We're back. Do you have,
No, I think what we've been deliberating around and talking about, we wanted to make sure that everyone felt heard and make sure that all voices were met with the care, respect, and dignity that each one of you guys deserve. But we also wanted to start by hearing from Johnny first and give him the opportunity to speak first. So now Johnny will have a moment to speak, followed by community input, and we welcome all of you to speak.
First off, thank everyone in this room for the support. I love you all to death. I love this community. This is going to be very difficult, but I also want to be very mindful. This is off of my paper. At no time do I want to turn this into any disrespect of anybody in this room, on this dais. I am professional from the beginning to the end. Note that this is difficult for me, difficult for my family. My family is on this journey with me, so please, out of respect for me and the people in this room, respectful comments only. If you do not have respectful comments, please don't speak. Thank you for coming and support. I love this community and I love my staff, and at this time, in the best interest of the village and my staff, I am choosing at my own free will to resign from my position. For the better of this community, I know that the support is here. My team is phenomenal. I understand that behind every great leader is a great staff. We're privileged here at the village. We don't have a great staff. We have a phenomenal staff. Starting from people underneath of me, all the way down to the custodian. And don't let anybody ever tell you guys anything different. You are phenomenal. I would go to bat with you. I'll go to your house. I'll do anything for my staff. For my community, I love you guys more than my own hometown. You are my village. You will always be my village. The ship is heading in the right direction that we have set the course. We are simply just changing the captain at this time. Again, thank you for everybody that took off at 9 o'clock on a Friday morning to come out and support me and my staff. Staff, I love you guys. Community members, business owners, I love you guys. There's been some phenomenal times over my last 13 years. And at this time, for me, my family, and my mental health for me and my family, this is not the time for me to be here. I am in no way giving up on Yellow Springs. You will see me, probably not at Street Fair, just putting it up. God has got a different plan for me, and it is not Yellow Springs. Thank you.
okay. Thanks, Johnny. So do we need to do a motion for the public comment? Is that, did I understand that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I think we were talking about doing public comment the same way that we do it at council meetings. So assuming 3 minutes a person on public comment. And yeah, we've got folks that are starting to line up. If you want to go ahead and get started, that would be fine. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Alex Price. Is this on?
Yeah, and if you could not move the microphone,
Sorry.
it makes Ben's ears bleed.
Is that better?
It's okay. They're
Okay.
done bleeding, and just don't move it after this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alex Price, owner, Mills Park Hotel. Not a voting member, but an extremely invested stakeholder in this community. This is your constituency right here. Multi-generational constituency that you have let down. Johnny is the best thing that has happened in this village in the last 20 years. It is a shame that you have chosen to put him in this position and put the rest of this village in this position. There is nothing that you can do to redeem this action. I don't need my 3 minutes. I had a whole speech. That says it all. Thank you.
Scott Osterholm. All I would like to say, since the decision has already been made, God bless you, Johnny, for all the years that we've worked together and the many talks we've had about infrastructure over those years and the need and the importance of it, and you were right there with me. One of the things, since the decision's been made, and I respect Johnny's wishes, there's something I'd like to say about Johnny. When my apartments at Hawthorne were on fire, I come out, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, who's out there? Johnny Burns. He's utility director. And he's out there with all the fire departments, and he's out running the show over there, trying to get things done, get his departments out, console people. And Johnny looks at me and he goes, "Oh, Scott, it's good to see you. Can you do me a favor?" I'm like, "You're not getting my coffee, Johnny." And he goes, "No, could you go wake up Josue?" He'd been calling our village manager at the time, who lived right across the street from me on the other side of Hawthorne, was not answering his phone. So I went over and beat on his door. But that's the kind of leadership. Johnny's a doer. I heard some people say, well, he doesn't express himself well. I don't care about how people express themselves. I have more faith in someone that does something than tells me something. Thank you for your service, Johnny. Thank you.
Max Chrome. Johnny, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for working with us to change out the transformer on Keith's Alley so that we could do the merch shop, that the electrical would not have worked otherwise. Your knowledge of the infrastructure, your knowledge of electrical specifically made a really big difference on that project. I want to thank you for helping us put new water, new sewer to the Union Schoolhouse. That project could not have happened without that. Working with you to close the streets, to make that project happen, your cooperation through that, your vision, your understanding of what we were trying to accomplish has been extremely helpful in all the development work that has been going on in town. And I think I'm going to miss working with you a lot. I think the way you approached projects was very helpful, and I'm disappointed with this development. But I just wish you the best, and I want to say thank you. Appreciate it.
Oops, I hope I didn't just blow a fuse. I bumped the thing with my elbow. It pains me to have to say this, but this morning has been just the tip of the iceberg on the colossal waste of time, energy, and resources. We are a small representation of the people who are affected by this and who will be affected by this. Again, it pains me to say, but the level of inexperience is glaringly obvious. And I don't understand why The council president is not the person with seniority on council. The council vice president is not the next seniority on council. It would make so much more sense than having to constantly look to Carmen and to Judy to say, now what are we supposed to do? How do we do this? Looking over at Amy. It's so glaringly obvious that we have a serious problem now in the village of Yellow Springs, and it pains me deeply. And Johnny, thank you for your service and your dignified approach. It doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Patrick Lake, resident 321 North Walnut Street, longtime resident of this community. Johnny, thank you for your service. I am extremely disappointed. I see this as a fundamental failure from council. It is your job to work with the village manager and to do so however you need to, and to recognize the type of professionalism and experience and strength that you had in your village manager to be as careless and unprepared and inexperienced and look so unprofessional regularly. It is a shame. I feel that you should be ashamed of yourself. I will continue to collect signatures on a referendum petition, and as soon as we can start collecting signatures for a recall, I will be collecting signatures to recall Gavin and Angie and Sinai. Johnny, thank you for your service. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Corey Whitaker, lifetime resident. I've lived here my entire life, and this is the first time I have been ashamed to be from Yellow Springs.
My name is Jim Bailey. I've only lived here for 55 years. I knew there would be people who've been here longer than I have. But I concur absolutely with what was just said. Thank you, Johnny. You've been an excellent manager. You've done a lot for this village, and we appreciate it. Thank you. And for the rest of you, if you voted for this man to be terminated, I hope you will follow his lead and resign.
Yeah.
My name is Eric Clark. I'm a lifelong villager. You all have seen me here before, and so I have been getting used to speaking out to council. I appreciate the opportunity. I've been in this village for 63 years. Sorry, I'm not trying to top anybody, but it happens. I think that for someone like me, who I have tried to be a good participant in the village, and seeing what's happening. I go to environmental commission. I go to township meetings, whatever I can, just to make sure that people are doing their job. And I don't necessarily try and push the issue, but I will push the issue here. How can someone like me suddenly find out that this is happening? There has been no transparency whatsoever. I would have expected a professional crew of people to first step forward and saying, we're having some issues. I see something in the Yellow Springs News or something other than the gossip rag of Facebook. And then suddenly to find out that we're having to make T-shirts and do whatever, have emergency meetings to discuss something that wasn't even in my head as a possibility. Johnny, I hate that you never return my emails when I send them. But if that's the only bad thing I can say about you, then that kind of gets me angry. So I just want everyone to know that this is a really low point for any human being to not keep me as the selfish part, but my community better informed, you have failed. Sorry, my opinion.
Relita Hildebrand. Johnny, you know I love you. I am outspoken about lots of things, but, and I think I have been outspoken about how much you do for this community. And even we have had disagreements, and I've wronged you. You've forgiven me, and we've moved on. And I appreciate your professionalism just incredibly. And I think that wherever you end up, they are so lucky to have you. Our loss is going to be their gain. And as I've watched over the past 6 months, this council slowly focus their energy, or maybe rapidly, I guess in 6 months, go from what I think has been the fundamental charter of Village Council to really focusing on your pet projects. I've watched unlike others, I've watched sort of this slow motion train wreck coming. And I really don't blame you, Johnny, because I'm not sure that I could trust this group in any way, shape, or form to work for them either. I'm so sad about the outcome, but I know that if I were in your shoes, I would make the same decision. And I feel like anyone who comes into this staff behind you or in any capacity is going to be challenged after this event, after someone who's so committed to this village, professionally and personally, who has touched so many lives and is leaving this way, is going to be a barrier to anyone coming in behind you. And for that, and for the impact that it's going to have on this village, I'm extremely sad. And my husband is not here, but I just wanted to say, my husband, who does infrastructure, security, and protection, has done a lot of work with Johnny. And so from a professional level, many people don't know the levels of effort that Johnny has gone through to make sure that this village is safe and protected during all sorts of events, daily events and big events. He's pulled in the big guns. He's, from a protection perspective, he's gone just above and beyond to make sure that we are able to enjoy our community safely and in a way that is transparent to most everybody here, but that has engaged other organizations through grants or through interactions to make sure that we're getting the best we possibly can. So Johnny, thank you so much for everything you've done. And I don't have words for how disappointed I am, really. I'm looking at 4 of you. I'm sorry.
Not touch the mic. I'm a little challenged for words right now. You know, I came this morning because I was really hoping that we could avoid the outcome that we're now all sitting here facing today. And you know, the first thing, just as everybody said, I mean, over the 10 plus years I've lived here, Johnny's been a part of the village staff the whole time, and I can't think of a single time, even when we haven't agreed on every single thing, that I couldn't look at this man and say that he gave his level best, that he always had the best intention and always was there trying. That's not to say always that the outcomes were what everybody wanted, but you know, this is the real world. That's just not how life works out. You know, so thank you, Johnny, for everything you've done. And it's the fact that this is kind of how this has happened, how this has come about, is it does not extend to you the respect that I think across the community that is felt for you. And you know, moving a little bit, I have to look at the people who've made this decision. I mean, while Johnny did say he resigned, I think everybody in this room knows that it was under duress. You know, this wasn't where he wanted to be. He didn't wake up a week ago and say, you know, I think I'm going to go out and look for a job. You know, I don't think there was a lot of consideration given for him as an individual by this council. I don't think you guys treated him respectfully. I also don't think you've treated the community respectfully. I still haven't actually heard a legitimate reason. Nobody on this council has set up and said, this is why we're here today. These are the transgressions that happened that led us here. We've had no transparency, no honesty from this group whatsoever. You know, which again, as a resident of the town, just leaves me scratching my head. You know, that we're going to be now in this situation with a rudderless ship. No clear path forward. We're likely going to end up with a lot of staff turnover, you know, because Johnny was a great leader. And if I worked here, I would probably say, you know what, I also can't trust this group of people here. Who knows, maybe somebody may not like the way I respond to something one day, and I'm going to find myself out of work. The level of institutional trust right here is really non-existent, I think, is where we're at. And somebody mentioned here earlier that they thought, you know, it may be appropriate for some members on this council to resign. I am in that same group. I think to move forward, if we're cleaning the slate, then the slate should be clean, because Johnny wasn't the stain on the slate. Again, thank you, Johnny, so much. I'm really sorry this came to this. This is just terrible.
Matt, can you give your name, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Matthew Kirk, 1745 Southview Drive.
Thank you.
Lisa Abel. The one thing that has happened from all of this is I find myself agreeing with people I have not agreed with in a long time. So that's kind of a little disorienting for me. Johnny, thank you. It's been nice working with you.
Thank you.
I really hope that you all consider how you're going to help all these folks who are left. Without Johnny, they're going through a lot. And they're going to need a lot of support. They're going to need to know a lot of things very quickly, and probably a lot of things you can't answer. They're going to need to know that you don't know. They're going to need to hear from you. They're going to need to know how you're taking care of them, how they can continue in their work here. The last thing this village needs is for a mass exodus from staff. It's up to you now. This has been set in motion, so you need to find some help. You're not going to do this by yourselves. You don't deal with change management and loss of leadership and direction of the community and everything else, along with what you wanted to do, without some help. So please, get some help.
Sorry. Bad habit. My name's Mitzi Miller, and I'm a resident of 36 years here. And I guess I want to share this with you. My life has been a struggle, having dyslexia. And I've had to fight my way through my career as an advocate. And that meant when I was a teacher, I was provided with assistants that were, I could do skills, but I needed additional assistance. We all don't come into a work situation where we might have a degree or think we need a degree. There are many of us that are able to shine and also do a job well done. And he has expertise that we all acknowledge and need in this village. And providing him additional assistance where he needs it is acceptable. It's very hard for me to look at this council and know that you're going to move forward with your own agendas. I disagree with that agenda. I think our infrastructure is the most important thing right now in our village, and I think his knowledge will be lost and impact this village and our community. I wish you the best, and I know whatever you do, you need to shine. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jane Brailer. I just have a question, because there's obviously stuff we don't know, but when and how might we learn a little more? There's got to be stuff working in the background, and when will we know a little bit? Or is there something we don't know or something? I'd just like to know when we might and how we might learn a little bit more so we understand the full picture a little more. Okay.
So, is it okay with y'all if I speak to that just for a second? It's a great question. The part of what's been so challenging about this is all of the legal and personnel components that make it very hard to figure out what you can communicate. So I think we still have a couple steps left, and I think our hope is that as soon as we can, that we'll communicate as much as we can. It's just working through, and I don't know if anybody has anything else they want to add, but that's the dynamic. Yeah. Other folks.
Thank you.
Hi, Amy Bailey, School Board President. I want to sincerely thank Johnny for everything he has done for the school district. I know our former superintendent, Terry Holden, as well as our current superintendent, appreciate your expertise and your level of knowledge and everything you've done, not only for our facilities project, but in order to make the schools whole from the LIHTC project last year. You're clearly doing this for your staff and your family, and that speaks to your level of integrity. I want to let you know that you have my highest level of recommendation moving forward, and I know that you do from our superintendents as well. Thank you.
Philip O'Rourke, 220 North Walnut Street. Johnny, thank you. Thank you. One of the things is, the question is not why Johnny. The burden is not to defend him. The burden is on council for why not. And I think there is, I use a value matrix when I make decisions. At what cost? At what cost is the recommendation for him to leave? And did that decision weigh into the cost of this? And I think Matt was saying something, Jane was saying something. The burden is really on council, legally or otherwise, to justify this level of disruption, this level of introducing trust issues, this level of introducing concerns organizationally, personally, and just foundationally to the fabric of Yellow Springs. So the burden is not Johnny is great and convince us of that. That's not it. The burden is for council to say he's no longer great. And it's for you to convince us of that. And I do understand that there's legalities, and I do caution hiding by saying nothing and thinking there's going to be effectiveness moving forward. From a managerial standpoint and an adult, it doesn't work that way. So I look forward to how council is just as thorough in their decisions to have this today as to hear their strategy for our success for tomorrow, because the burden is on you.
Jill Pauley, resident 402 North Winter. I was waiting for somebody like Philip to speak before me, who's much more eloquent and chooses his words very wisely. I'm feeling emotional right now, and I'm trying not to be. But honestly, I'm pissed. I'm pissed that we got to this point without an opportunity to turn it around while there was still a chance, and now it's too late. We're losing a gift to the village. I don't know how we got here. I was hoping to come today with the expectation of having more information about what was going on in order to be able to have a conversation about it, to figure out how together we can work together, meaning all of you sitting up here and all of us here as well sitting in front of you, on how to move together. But it's too late now. Johnny's already made his decision, which I respect. But something's broken, and I'm not sure what. And that's, again, what I was trying to come here today and took the day off work to figure out. Is it that we don't have the transparency? And Stephanie, I know you do your sessions at the Emporium, which I appreciate. Is that enough, though? Like, how did we get here? Was it that the village wasn't paying attention to opportunities to speak before now? But I'm kind of dumbfounded, so I'm sorry, I'm fumbling right now, but something's broken. It needs to be fixed, and losing somebody like Johnny Burns is a casualty of it. So how do we fix this? Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Max again. I want the rest of my 3 minutes. I just want to address Johnny the first time. I want to address you guys this time. I think after hearing from everybody in this room, I think it's makes me question whether if there had been public comment and feedback prior to all this going down, maybe we'd be somewhere else today. Maybe we'd be doing something different. So I just want to ask the council, I've been kind of making phone calls behind the scenes. Is there any way to salvage this situation? So now that you've heard from your public, I would ask you to get back together, put your heads together. Is there a way to salvage this situation? I don't know. But I think now that you've heard from your public, your job is to do our will. So you've heard our will. So I hope you take that into consideration.
Matthew Kirk, Southview Drive. So one thing I wanted to say was, I think with our council here, we have to find a way to do better, I guess, to communicate with each other. And I know people were saying that's part of the issue here, but we're all here feeling a tremendous loss and no path forward. And I think that people up here think that they're doing something that we were elected to do. To be honest, I voted for all you guys here, and this is hilarious, because I was so tired of the drama on council. I was like, we're going to elect these new people, and we're not going to have all this drama and whatever. And you guys are the biggest drama people, apparently, it turns out. Highest level of drama possible. And I think that people think that they had some mandate to do affordable housing or whatever this election. You have no mandate to do anything now. You've lost entire public support for every aspect. I mean, I just cannot emphasize enough how this has just destroyed the trust in the village. And I don't know how we move forward here. again, I would like to call on you guys to step down. Thank you.
Rachel Doss, 321 North Walnut Street. It may be Smith now. I don't know if my divorce is technically through, so. Sorry, referencing back to Max Chrome, where he said that he wanted to address council and ask council if there's any way that they can come back and maybe find a way to salvage this. And I would like to say to Johnny, is there anything we can do or we can do on our part that would make you reconsider staying? Because I'm speaking for myself, but I've been listening. I believe the village values you and your job and your expertise on a higher level than any council person. We can replace all of these. We cannot replace you. So I want to know from you, without going into the legality of stuff, I don't think it's beyond anybody's scope here to know the general framework of what's wrong, interpersonal relationship issue with somebody working with you. What do you need so you can continue? Because I think everybody here is concerned about saving you. And you saying your mental health, bro, that's why you're walking away? Are you kidding me? It's been made such a horrible situation for you. That is beyond gross. That is beyond reproach. And like that itself should be, everybody here should be looking of like, okay, so who participated in this? Who did this? And I don't think you are held to be quiet. So I can't wait to see you around town, Johnny.
Let me answer the question. For a while now, since July 17th, my wife, myself, my family have talked about today. Even last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, me and my wife is still talking about today, what today looks like. And we both come up to an agreement. Tomorrow, Yellow Springs is going to be Yellow Springs, and Johnny Burns and his family will be Johnny Burns and his family, and I will come back to support, but I will no longer be employed here. I love every one of you guys. I look over there, one of my best friends, 27 years we've worked together. I've sat on that man's back porch and cried the last 4 weeks, asking him, did you see anything that I did wrong? And at the end of the day, I looked at that man in the eye and says, it's time. God has asked me to step away, and I am following my God, and I love every one of you, but it's not here. I'll be back. I promise you, Jason and I will go fishing. I will come back, but not for this street fair. I will be part of the hotel, dining and eating. At this capacity, I can't, and I apologize.
Scott Ostrom, 305 West Center College Street, apartment 124, or you can catch me at the softball field. We do have a learning moment here, and it's a very disturbing learning moment. Because one good thing about living in a small town, and everyone will agree to, is like, if there was something that was so big that was done wrong, we'd all heard about it. You know, we're not hearing nothing, not even whispers. So if it ain't that, is this actually just stems on, this is some MAGA crap. Does not agree with it. Not my type of person. Get rid of him. And that trust, what these people are talking about, is very real. You broke a trust with the people. We all, transparency. Couldn't get enough of that word a few months back. Sneaking a 9 a.m. meeting and only finding out about it on a Wednesday night does not scream transparency to the village of Yellow Springs, nor any other adult in any room you go to. Johnny, once again, you do what's best for you. Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Alex Price, just reclaiming a moment to respond to Johnny. I wish that there was something salvageable. For example, 4 of these 5 members to resign immediately. However, I appreciate it, and I want to say you are always welcome at the hotel, and you can know that you can be there without any one of those members in attendance, because we will not accept anything less than the best for this village.
Thank you.
Patrick Lake, feel like the community's coming around on an idea. Maybe we'd be better off just replacing the council than replacing Johnny. I have a question. Can we not just demand that council resign now and refuse to accept your resignation, Johnny? Go on vacation for a couple of weeks. Let us clean up this inexperienced, unprofessional mess that sits before us. You all should be ashamed. Resign now. And let us pick up the pieces with a village manager who is capable every single day, not unprepared, not on a learning journey. He's ready to work regardless of the time of day. You guys need to figure out which way is up. Resign and go do that on your private time and let this community continue to operate functionally. Please, Johnny. Give it a thought. Have a vacation. Let us clean this up. Thank you.
I'm Dan Badger. I might not be allowed to talk. I used to have the hardware store, but I live in the township, so maybe I'm supposed to shut up. First of all, Johnny, I love you and I appreciate you, and I can't fucking believe this. To council, I think it's important that you recognize that what you have just done is stopped any progress for the next several years while this is dealt with. The institutional knowledge that is walking out the door right now, the understanding of how to accomplish things in this village that's walking out the door right now is incredible. Not only are we losing Johnny's knowledge inside his mind, but we're also losing his Rolodex and his relationships. Johnny has a relationship with every hammer swinger and wrench turner in town, and all of us as a community have been serving the village at the pleasure of Johnny Burns. If the village would like the support of that community, there is a lot of rebuilding of trust that needs to happen, and I don't understand what that path is going to look like yet. It's very scary to me that this is happening.
Can I ask one more? I know I'm not supposed to, but it's just like a question. Hey, y'all, I'm back. Rachel Doss, 321 North Walnut. Johnny, I heard that. It's a loud no. Unfortunate. Is there any way we could buy your consultancy while we... I mean, I think everybody here is rightfully concerned, and like you take somebody in a position of action like you on our infrastructure and just drop them. What happens when, I don't know, we're in a flood season or... So is that a potential? You don't have to answer now, but like... Just trying to think of like, okay, if we can't win you back, can we buy you in a capacity to get that information and go somewhere? Okay, yeah, thanks, guys.
Paige Birch, Chief of Police. So everyone's talking about his contributions to the community. Now I want to talk about his contributions to this team. One of the hardest things as a leader is to get every single person on a team together on the same page. We get along, guys? You in my department? Yeah. Utilities, we get along? You get along with these guys? Yeah. I know it's small. It might seem so small, but that collaborative piece is so critical to the day-to-day function. And that man accomplished that on day one, because if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's our respect for him. Am I right? So I wanted to stand up here for every employee who wouldn't come up here to say, thank you, we love you. You know where to find us, brother.
The mic is not my thing, so I'm not going to go to the mic. But to the employees, we've got 2 social workers on staff. If anybody needs anything, you know how to find Florence Thrive. Okay?
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Rolland. I'm the owner and founder of Village Solar Co., 222 Fairfield Pike. I spoke in front of council during, I guess, the transition from interim village manager in favor of Johnny getting the job as full village manager. I'm going to paraphrase something I said back then. Johnny Burns is the man to create solid foundations underneath the castles in the sky this town, the village, likes to dream up. By getting rid of him, the only institutional memory that's going to remain is how to shoot yourself in the foot. So, respectfully, yeah, I think we need some heads to roll. I don't know how we come back and have any semblance of integrity after this sort of a decision-making process is made. My confidence in council is 0. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I voted for y'all. What are you going to do to fix this? Can it be fixed? I don't think it can. I think you all need to resign effective immediately. Get out of the way. This should never have happened. This is so ill-conceived. So respectfully, I'm not asking, I'm kind of demanding. I want your resignations by end of day. Figure it out. Thank you.
Amy Bailey, just one more comment. I've been part of a very dysfunctional team in the past, so I just want to offer my thank yous to Carmen, because I know that not all dysfunctional teams are fully dysfunctional. So thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ruth Ann Lillick, and I'm not a member. I don't live in the village anymore, but full transparency, I live in Fairborn. But I lived here for several years, and I was here when Kelly Fox hired Johnny. And I know how much trust there was in the village for Kelly, but in his capacity as a village employee, and that was one of the last great things that he did. I watched Johnny evolve. He went from, he knows about electric, but man, this guy knows a little bit about everything. And some managers were smart enough to capitalize on that and to promote him and to recognize that. And I know what he's been through. There's been some real insanity here as far as the treatment of our employees, and it's shameful. And I want to look at you and say you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed, because I pretty much know who voted how. But the fact that you would put him in his office for 3 hours at night, waiting on executive session, while his wife sits at home and waits to see what their future is going to be. And he waits through executive sessions while you guys talk. And his wife is at home wondering what their future is going to be. He's been offered other positions with other cities. And he and his wife talk about it. Sorry, I hope I can say this. And she said, I hate what they do to him, but his eyes don't light up when you talk about those other cities like they do when he talks about Yellow Springs. So integrity, passion, character, and knowledge, I don't know what you think you're going to find out there, but it's not there. You're not going to find this level of professionalism. So I think your inexperience is glaring. I've been through 5 or 6 manager searches. As an employee, I worked for 6 different ones while I was here in 11 years. It's not an easy spot to fill. So I don't know what you think you're going to find, but I'm happy for Johnny and his family that he can move forward now. I've been wanting him to do that for a long time, but I was supportive of him as his friend. Whatever you want, whatever you and Tracy decide. But now, I flat out told him, they're going to chew you up and spit you out. And you did. Shame on you.
My name is Vince Sparks. I am the electric and water superintendent. I've known Johnny a long time. And as far as integrity, he's the top. Loyalty, he bleeds whatever job that he serves. And the gap, the hole that you guys will have to fill, I guarantee you, you will never, ever, ever replace him, ever. It is absolutely impossible. This is the same guy. He says he's for his employees. I just had back surgery. He was over at my house 2 weeks ago helping me get a well pump put in my house because I didn't have any water. That's the manager that I work for. So as far as filling the gap, filling the hole, man, best of luck, guys. I mean, I'm here. I'm not leaving the village, and I'll do the best that I can, but I'm telling you, he's irreplaceable, and I love you, Johnny. I love you.
I didn't properly introduce myself earlier. I'm Sam Eckenrode. I've been a villager since 1962. I live on Livermore Street currently. I'm sorry my voice keeps breaking, but this is very upsetting. I think we all feel it. My biggest concern right now is I hear a lot of talk, pie in the sky, talk about affordable housing. Affordable housing is a big, huge ideal to wrap your hands around. It's not going to happen in this village. It's an issue all over the world. Infrastructure is what you all should be focusing on. And who do we know, who is our number one expert in this village on infrastructure? We have an aging population of homes. We have an aging water, sewer, electrical system. Who are we losing? That should be your focus, all of you. Affordable housing, have you ever heard of the laws of supply and demand? Sorry, excuse me.
Sorry, I'm not coming to speak. Well, wait, I will. Hi. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I'm standing at the microphone. Talk about not being prepared. I'm Lisa Krieger, and I live on Livermore Street. And I've been on that podium. I served on the podium. And I know these are not simple choices, and I know that you must have put in hours and hours and hours. So I don't want to oversimplify how difficult your roles are, but I do think that this is a mistake. I stand with other community members who I've heard speak. We're losing someone who's too valuable. I ran on infrastructure, and I learned so much. I'm a nurse, and I never knew I would geek out so much about infrastructure, right? But it's about public health, really, isn't it? And so, I mean, I'm very concerned about this council. I know several of you very well. I respect you, but my heart is broken. But thank you, Johnny. Try to undo it. Can you undo it? I don't think so. But I got to go back to work. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. I'm sorry that this council is going to have to learn how valuable you were after you leave. I hope you all recognize we know what we had. You guys could save a lot of time and some money by resigning today. Thank you.
Tanner Bussey. I'm one of the few employees here that remembers working here before Johnny Burns joined, and the level of dysfunction when he started, he didn't know what he was walking into. He didn't know what the infrastructure looked like. The town looked a lot different 14 years ago. Everything that's been accomplished over the last 14 years has his fingerprints all over it. Most of the employees here today, hired by him. It's hard to bring on, it's hard to join a leader that you don't know there's dysfunction to begin with. He earned my trust. I remember the conversation where I thought you were something different than you are. I don't know a whole lot of great men. I'm not sure I know anybody better, but he is the top 1%. And we're headed for bleak times. And you guys do not know what you're getting into. He's a victim of his own success. He made everything look so good and run so easy. It's impossible. You will never find another. I wish you luck.
I'll give it another second in case anybody else wants to speak.
John Hudson, 325 North Walnut. I've lived here since 1950. Just want to thank Johnny for all his support of the arts, not just my work, but all the other artists in the community. And everything else has been said. Wish it could be different.
Jill Polly, 402 North Winter. Just one more thing. Johnny, would you ever consider running for village council president? Just putting it out there.
I wasn't going to get up because I don't know you, Johnny. I know of you. We've talked a couple times. A lot of good feedback from my circle of friends about your work. There's a lot of weight in this room right now. And I want to thank you for what you've done. I want to thank you especially for helping set the tone of this meeting, not because you resigned, but because you asked us for civility. You asked for a good discussion. And I'm going to thank the council for listening so well. I don't know how we got here. it feels like we're in the wrong place. And I wish you good discussions going forward on how we untangle this in the next few weeks. But again, thanks for your support. Thanks for what you've done for the community. And same goes for the council, too. Just help us out here to try to understand what we're going into.
Can you give
Thanks.
us your name, please?
I'm sorry. Robert Leibcap, Robinwood Drive.
Thank you.
Ryan Aubin, Mills Park Hotel. Carmen, thanks for letting me know this was happening. I didn't know until the day before yesterday. Johnny, because of you and the team that you oversee and assemble, Alex and I and Jim, Libby, and Katie have been able to welcome safely and comfortably over 1 million people into 321 Xenia Avenue in the last 10 years. It was something I was going to mention at our 10-year anniversary thing, but I was kind of dying. With that said, I hope that you take a minute to look around and not just at the physical aspects of the village that are your legacy, but this room is your legacy. This community is your legacy. And I can't stress enough what others have said today. This is an insurmountable loss. But I hope you take the YouTube recording of this and just send it to your next employer, because this is not only your interview, it's your resume. And if there's one thing I've learned today, this community loves, and it loves loud. And I'm appreciative of the relationship that we've had with you and the members of your team, and I know that will continue. And you and Tracy and your whole family always have a space at our table. They may not, but you do. I wish you nothing but the best.
Hi, Jim Weiner, on Union Street. Lived there for, I'm a Johnny-come-lately, comparatively speaking. I only arrived here in '98, so. I didn't know anything about any of this until this morning. I had somebody who, I think it's Paul. Is Paul still here? No. He's an electrician, came to my house, and he said, I'm going to have to, be out of here at a certain point because of a village council meeting. And he told me about it, and I don't know anything about this. There's like freedom of religion, but there's also freedom from religion. And so I'm one of those people who live in the Springs, and I don't really follow, the drama of city council. Every once in a while, over 20-some years, I've read something here and there about some, displeasure in council. But here's the situation. This is really going to hit the fan someplace. I imagine the Dayton Daily News will have a long article about this. But as I'm sitting here and listening to all of this, I'm still in that position of I think I've talked to Johnny once about something about the fiber network. That's about it. I've probably voted for the council people. I don't know who I voted for. But now when this hits the fan, people will say, I kind of need to have the idiot's guide to the drama in Yellow Springs, which is basically, how did this all start? What would be the first, let's say, 250 words in an article that would tell us, okay, that brought us to this point? Because obviously, people think the world of Johnny. People are talking about wanting council to resign. Okay. I didn't know about any of this stuff until I was here. So what I think it's going to be a big deal for now council is, how are we going to respond to everybody else outside the community who looks at Yellow Springs with a certain jaundiced view? And that's okay. I mean, we know that, people, it's a lot of politics and people play with that. But they would think that, yeah, this is a hell of a wonderful town, and that now it's going to hit the fan. And it's going to hit the fan with a long article someplace. And they're going to need to know what was it that was going on with this to become a big fracas and turn into this. So I hope you keep that in mind. This is going to be your priority piece after today. You're going to have to deal with the people who call about this. And it's sort of like Antioch College having the idea of well, I'll forget that. I'm getting old. But that's what we have. Yellow Springs is now has a huge image crisis on its hands, and it's got to deal with it. And what you have to do is, for people like me who go, I didn't know that was happening. Okay, well, so how did it all start? And how did it get to even halfway to this? So I hope you keep that up in mind, and hopefully we won't have, different media out there licking their chops at the prospects of, the super uber liberal Yellow Springs.
3 minutes.
They're screwing up. Thanks much.
I'm Chelsea Skinner, a village employee for 5 years. Worked with Johnny for 5 years. And as a staff member, this feels like a blindside because we know how beloved he is among us and in the community, and we're kind of on the front lines of feedback from the community. And so this just feels like a devastating loss, and I wish the best for you and your family.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Naomi Watson. Many of you know me. I've been here since October of 2007. I'm sure that people are cringing right now when I walked up here. I think I had the wink of my chief to give me the okay, not that she would ever stifle me, but she knows how passionate I am about Yellow Springs, about the people in this community. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters to me. I love you all, and I serve and I protect you all. What I will say is that we've all heard the good things, right? The things that you guys see. Well, I'm going to give you a little outlook of or a little end to what you don't see, which is the phone calls that many of us employees received when we've gone through devastating losses. Like my daughter was killed by a drunk driver 4 years ago. And it was Johnny Burns, one of the first phone calls that I got, that said, hey, what can I do for you? You mean so much to me. Your family means so much to me. What about, food? What can I do for your family, your extended family? My parents are very ill. He came over to their house when they moved to the area, fixed their plumbing, stuff like that. And many of you have needed help. And I would never call anybody out, but many of you needed help. And miraculously, guess what? You didn't need help anymore. Because I know the person that opened up his arms, his time, his hands, his wallet, spent time here where he could have been with his family and his grandchildren. But no, he's here. So let me tell you something. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. And I know that you've heard people say it. I've seen a lot of you guys outside of here, and I've given you a smile when maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe giving you a nod when maybe I shouldn't have. You guys are fake. You're not real. This is the real. And you guys should be ashamed of yourself. 100%. You know I love you. You know my family loves you. We've had times together. We prayed for each other, no matter what it is. And you know what? You asked for the burning bush, you got it.
Patrick Lake, my message is actually to the community. We've watched this inexperienced and recluse council try to move quickly and efficiently and playfully and unprofessionally, and it is time for our community to pull together and make every single meeting and every single issue go on and on so you all can understand what this community is about, because you clearly lack that understanding. There won't be any more efficient meetings here, and the temperature is permanently broken at really hot on all of you. You guys own this. Every time there's brown water coming out of a tap, any infrastructure problem, we're going to be thinking about, why did Sinai and Angie and Gavin and Stephanie do this to us? How could they let this happen? We trusted them.
Hello, Lisa Walters with Yellow Springs Brewery. I'll do my best here. Some of you folks on the council I consider my friends, and I just can't even imagine what happened to get us here. What kind of conversations happened? Johnny, this is why I'm here saying this. As a business owner, all of these years, Johnny has been there for us. He has helped make our business successful. And I am so worried about what's going to happen to other businesses who need that kind of help from someone who understands deeply what is going on in this village. Johnny, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. That's all.
Lane Dykeman, lineman for the village, coming on 4 years. Had a previous work history with Johnny. It's part of the reason of coming to work here. It's been an highest honor to look at you as a superior, look at you as a boss, look at you as a superintendent, look at you as a project manager. I think we can agree on what his legacy is. There's been testimony to that. We've borne witness in the last 13 years. Ask each one of you, because I'm a person of second chances. I'm one who believes in mercy. I'm one who believes in redemption. What's your legacy going to look like? And I offer that as a challenge, and I don't offer that as a cheap shot. But I think, just as I need to be held accountable, Johnny viewed accountability very seriously. Now, I really hope, sincerely pray that, you reevaluate what does accountability look like, right? But I know I do. I consider your legacy. What will your legacy be? I mean, you're not just council members, right? You're members of the community. Your family members, maybe your spouse, a brother, a sister, a mother, father. Anyway, no. As much as this hurts me, as much as it pains me to watch this, as much as I still feel numb, I wish the best for you guys. I wish, but you've got a calling. What's your legacy going to look like? Yeah.
So,
I'm just going to say one last thing, which is I think that, we're all sitting here because we don't want this meeting to end because we don't want to believe it's real. That's why this keeps dragging on. So you're just going to have to stab us in the heart to get us out of here.
all right, are there any other comments?
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
Okay, well, I don't know if anybody feels like they, I know we still have steps we have to figure out. If there's anything anybody else thinks we should do, or if it's time to adjourn.
I think Johnny wanted to say one more.
Okay. Tomorrow's going to look different. But remember who you are and what you stand for. And remember, your family is what matters. And whether it be a family member or a community member family, you're always with me. I look at my staff. We've had some good times. We've had some laughter. We've had some cries. I think if you go back to what Tanner Bussey said, there's only 4 people in the entire staff that I did not have as an employee and the privilege of hiring. Staff, you're phenomenal. You have this. You got it. We have set the course for you guys to follow. I love every one of you. Always will. Every one of you guys. Thank you for serving. We are all public servants. Don't forget that. We are public servants. We do it not for the money, not for the thank yous. We don't get up in the middle of the night because we want to come in and put power outages back together. We don't get up in the middle of the night because there's a water main break and say, man, I just wish I had that. We don't. For the people that complain because their power's out, think about the guys that just left their family and the ladies that just left their families on holidays, on Christmas, in the middle of the night, before you start going onto the public Facebook pages and bitching and complaining that we didn't get it fixed fast enough. Because understand, when the power goes out, they come in because they love their jobs, they love this community. So before the complaints start going and the articles start happening, think about the staff that is coming in to give you the services that you pay for. And thank God they do. Because you know what? Not one of these people are paid to be on call. They do it as part of their job. They don't go on vacation sometimes because they're on call. They don't go to the park because they're on call. So what's happened today has happened. Have mercy, have grace with my staff moving forward, because it's going to take time to get the next leader in place. And the next leader, I'm going to address you. You have the best staff that money can buy across the United States. I'll put them up against anybody. And if you don't think so, you're not the leader for this community. And if you need help, you call me, because I'm going to tell you how to get it done, because I'm not leaving the community. Every one of my staff prior to today has my personal cell phone number. And I have told every one of my staff, call me. I may be leaving the job, but I'm not leaving you. So for the worries, believe me, my staff is covered. I'm not leaving my staff, and I'm not leaving my community. I'm a phone call away. My wife might complain, but I'm a phone call away.
That's on you, bro.
I love every one of you guys.
All right. Somebody want to make a motion, or is there anything else anybody wants to say? The thing that's been extremely hard about figuring out how to speak up is related to all of the personnel and legal components, and so we're trying to figure out how do we work through it. No, I'm not. No, we're not.
Hey, please, out of respect for me.
Do we want to just close up? If anybody wants to speak up, I don't want to create space. I want to create space for it, but if we're done, then we're done. It's fine.
I don't know what else there needs to be said. I'm gonna talk. I am going to. Why not? Listen. I was just in the room with Johnny because I volunteered to go in there. Nothing about this process was easy. Nothing about it is going to please you all or Johnny, the council, even myself. Johnny, you know I respect the hell out of you. And interpersonal relationships and how we move, how we talk, and how we move forward over these next few days and few weeks is what me and Johnny were talking about. I'm throwing myself on the sword here. This was not, let me not start down that path. But at the end of the day, Johnny, thank you. That's a minimum that what we can say today. And we'll move forward together.
Make a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
I first, Sanai second.
All right, I think it's an all those in favor. Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, thanks, everybody.